Okay. Last week there was a lot of back and forth between Daz and Suge. Daz told a story in his response to Suge about an incident where he had a screwdriver at the office and he held it to Suge's neck or something of that nature. Did you hear that? And do you have any clarity or do you remember that happening?
Dad's telling the truth, y'all. Partially. Man, Suge wasn't even in town. We was in New York when that shit happened. I've told this story to you guys before, for those of y'all that really been listening, where he was chasing us, Roy. Y'all know Roy. Roy weighed less than my wife. Roy was an assistant that was built like my wife. Roy was about 5'4", 5'5", maybe 5'6", I don't know. 130 pounds, if that. Maybe 135 pounds. Ethiopian dude, good dude. He was the brain of the connection, I'll say that, of Death Row. Back in the day, anybody needed to get a hold of Suge.
You know, Reggie, ever since the City situation happened and we've been covering it ongoing, it reminds me how important it is to have a good lawyer on your team. That's why I'm glad to bring to you Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. They have over 1,000 attorneys operating in all 50 states, and when you are seriously hurt, your injury could be worth millions. Morgan & Morgan don't settle for the lowball offers. They fight for every dollar you deserve if you become their client. Just recently, they achieved some significant verdicts for their clients, $12 million in Florida, 34 times the highest insurance offer, and $26 million in Philadelphia, which is over 40 times the highest insurance offer. With Morgan & Morgan, there's no upfront costs and the fee is absolutely free unless you win. And it only takes a few minutes to see if you have a case. If you've ever been seriously injured, your case can be worth millions, and you're only a few clicks away from finding out if you could change your life. It's easy to start your claim now. You can visit forthepeople.com/bomb, or you can scan the QR code with your phone's camera in the corner.
And you called the office, and you were able to get the Roy, because that's the one that Suge picked up no matter what. And if Suge wasn't picking up and we were out of town in the field or something like that, Roy knew how to get a hold of me, and then I got him to Suge or whatever. Roy was the one that was in the office that got chased around by Daz. Now he gonna say he walked out with a big check or something like that. That's how Suge was. I don't know. I know we didn't have checks on the facility. Suge would have to call the check in to this company called Gelfand, to his accountant. Her name was Lisa Romero. She was the bookkeeper that worked for Steve Cantrop. And it always took at least a day to get a check from them. So Daz lying about that. You know, Suge probably got on the phone with Daz and gave him something. You know, like, Daz, nigga, what you coming up there? But I do remember that's when, after that happened, because we just had homeboy security, and I don't know where the homeboy security was at that day, because they were the ones working the office at that time, and that was like Hen Dog and maybe Juju or even G. G was up there, but not during that time. I think he had left by that time. But it was people like that worked the office. It was like the office security. But after that, that's when y'all heard of this white boy named White Boy Dave. Y'all remember him, White Boy Dave? That's when I hired White Boy Dave and then put him at the office. So that's when we put a armed or a retired police officer or off-duty police officer assigned to to work the office, which became Dave, White Boy Dave. He started doing little things where he got real close with Norris Anderson and all that, and was working up under them. But that was one of my guys. And so he got me a contract after he did that at the office. But Suge wasn't in town. Suge was in New York when that happened. So that's just Daz lying. But did y'all remember when he used to tell the story was he got $2 million? And then he came down to $100,000 or something like that. I don't know. It probably was $20,000 or $25,000 that Suge went on and got him a check for. Because that's how Suge did with it. That's how Suge dealt with everybody. They get mad. They'll scream, pout, James from James, everybody. His women, everybody. And then they get to him, and then he'll have a check cut. That's just how Suge operated. That's just how he did. Because he really got a soft heart at heart. He just be playing everybody against each other and lying and manipulating. But if he still needs you in his life for whatever reason he's using you for, then you'll be all right. It's just when he feels as though he don't need you anymore, that's just when the hatred and the bullshit and the negative talking start coming in. Me, I do it all the time. I talk shit about him all the time, and then the next minute I'll be patting him on his back. That's just me. I tell the truth. I call a ball, a strike, a motherfucking strike. Peace.